Morning. Yeah. Erin Go Bing Day, or as we like to call it around here, the second St. Patrick's Day. We're going to do a little celebrating today. That's right. I just recently purchased this collection of albums, which is just a collection of songs on one album called, well, St. Patrick's Day. Yes, and it's a pretty good Bing collection. But can you imagine collecting vinyl back in the day of, well, Bing and the Boys, and you had 5 albums show up? For one LP, yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it? I know nobody in my day had a bedroom big enough to store that much vinyl. But we're going to start off today with who threw the overalls in Miss Murphy's Chowder? Yeah, and this is kind of one of my favorite ones. It's a skippy little tune. Yeah, Decca Records. What's really cool about this whole set is I purchased it, came at home, dusted it off, changed the speed on the old Victrola, and yeah, they spin, man. So, without further ado, let's get to celebrating a little St. Patrick's Day, and we're going to talk about a little Erin Go Bra tobacco while we do it.
Nobody spoke, so he shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick that's true. I can lick them, mix it through. The overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder.
Yeah, enjoying a little Bing. Why? Well, because I explained before, second celebration of St. Patrick's Day this year, and yeah, Erin Go Bra tobacco. Yes, pipe tobacco. Found this on pipesandcigars.com, and apparently they started out with the Irish whiskey. And yeah, got a jar of it. Don't forget to shake those jars. Apple crumble, and well, Irish cream. I have 3 pipes loaded up here. Why? Well, because I can, and because it's probably going to irritate the hell out of some of you thinking, how do you do a review with 3 pipes and 3 different tastes? And I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but we're doing it here. Why? Because, well, greenhorn, and once again, because I can. Millie's had a rough morning. I forgot how chasing a puppy around can wear a guy out. Because honestly, when I get done with this, I'm gonna lay down right next to this dog. Yeah. Anyway, Irish cream. Back to our subject here. The Irish cream or Irish whiskey. This is the Irish whiskey. Sorry, I think I've been drinking already. But I like this, but I'm not the fan of it like I am. Well, the apple crumble. It does have a little bit of bourbony taste, but otherwise I'm not really catching any sort of note or taste in it. The apple crumble, however, smoking in Cobb's today. Got a very, very sweet taste. Very, very, very tasty. I love this stuff. The apple crumble is very good. Very, very good. However, the Irish cream trips my trigger. Yes. Like I said, in a Cobb, it's just got a very smooth, just a hint of liqueur in it. Kind of almost flowery, a little bit as well. I don't know why. Probably because I've had 2 other pipes, is what everybody out there is saying. You moron! But I'm enjoying all 3. And apparently we're done enjoying Bing right now. And the Victrola is a ways over there, so we're going to have to do with that. But speaking of Bing, and what's up, Millie? Yeah, are you tired of this whole situation? Yeah, me too. No, just kidding. We've got to do this. Why? Because it's Wednesday, and now we need to talk about Bing. And we're not going to talk about Bing's life or movies or anything like that, or any more about his music. Well, a little bit more about his music, but I'm gonna talk about what I found somewhat just little things that I thought were kind of cool, little tidbits. So here we go. Yeah. First of all, apparently Bing never read music, and that's there's a lot of people that are very creative and can do a lot of things in the music industry and can't read music. Um, I can't read music, but I'm kind of a schlupp when it comes to all that stuff. So anyway, he never read music, and I just found that interesting because Bing struck me as a sort of dignified guy that probably spent a lot of studio time, especially back in the radio days and the big band days. And I just figured maybe he could read music. I mean, it never occurred to me that he couldn't, but obviously he couldn't. And I also found it was very funny. Grace Kelly, a cohort of his, and wow, pretty good to look at. Maybe I'll just post a picture right here. Yeah. And she said Bing could record and sing with a pipe in his mouth. How about that? I can't even hardly talk or mumble with a pipe in my mouth. But sing? Holy cow.
'Cause anything goes.
Yeah. He got his nickname. I found this. He actually got his nickname twice. First, apparently, he was just a little tyke back in Spokane, Washington, and he liked to play cops and robbers a lot with his pals and his partners and his neighborhood friends, and he'd go around, bing, 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 bing. He had two little pistols, and the nickname stuck from his friends. Later on, though, I found out that some of his friends later on in life thought the way his protruding ears and his pear-shaped head looked, he looked like some characters from the Bingville comic strip, which I've never heard of. If you've heard of that, or leave a comment. I find it interesting. I didn't do any research on Bingville, but so they called him Bingo due to the shape of his head and the protruding ears. And I looked at never mind. But they just shortened it to Bing later on. So as he got older, he smoked pipes for a long time. And his mother, she didn't mind a pipe. She had cigarettes. And apparently, at one point, I found this interesting. Bing lost a very lucrative record deal, because he wouldn't get on a radio commercial and say, buy a carton of these certain cigarettes because, I see you, because it's Mother's Day, you can buy. I'm going to start this over. His mother hated cigarettes. Bing lost a lucrative record deal. Why? Well, because he wouldn't get on a radio commercial around Mother's Day and say, buy your mom a carton of these certain cigarettes for Mother's Day. And apparently it was a pretty lucrative deal. I didn't really say, I didn't find any history on which record company it was, but I know he was with Decca for a while, so obviously it wasn't Decca. By 1946, he had 150 pipes already in his collection. And a lot of them were given to him by fans, and he purchased his own as he went around the world in his travels. And I just thought that was, that's a lot of pipes. 150, and maybe there's somebody out there that's got more than that. I don't know, but that's a lot of pipes to me. Holy cow, I'm doing good with the pushing a dozen I got, I guess. Anyway, but one of his favorite pipes was an opium pipe sent by a lieutenant in the Army Corps of Engineers who was stationed in Burma and China, and picked this pipe up, and apparently it was quite old. It was maybe ancient, you could say, and it was hand carved and very, very beautiful, I guess. And Bing enjoyed it. He liked to show it off at dinner parties to his guests. I never found out if he smoked it, and I could not find a picture of it. But apparently Bing liked his opium pipe, as well. So, and another little thing, in his tobacco, he liked to keep an apple slice in his humidor. I don't know if anybody else out there does that, so leave a comment. I'm traveling this weekend to my daughter's. I'm thinking about slicing a chunk of apple off and throwing it in my traveling pouch. So we'll find out. Dog's now chewing on my back. Yeah, it's awesome. Right there. And like me, Bing had no set regularity or rotation of his pipes. He took them and smoked them, carried a few in a pocket here and there, and that's just what he did. And he was also, come to find out, he was into inexpensive pipes. He didn't spend a lot of money on his pipes. It never really said why. They just kind of said that. and I'm sure in a collection of 150 in 1946, and he probably had more by the time of his death, and I think was it 1978, 79, 80. I'm sure he probably had more than 150. Um, he enjoyed, according to him, and quote, rough cut and mildly aromatic English, Irish, and American blends all suit me fine, providing they are not too strong or harsh. And there's a very famous picture of being in a dressing room with a fellow, and there's a tin of Hayward mixture, which has been pointed out was one of his favorite blends that he could purchase in several tobacco shops, Beverly Hills, and in New York. It's also, but last but not least, we'll get to a little tidbit of humor here. He was at a dinner party one night, constantly scratching his leg on the couch with his wife, Catherine. Well, she thought he was scratching his leg. When she said, are your wool pants itching you? He said, no. And she realized he was dumping his excess pipe tobacco out when he was refilling his pipe into the cuff of his pant leg. And he turned and humorously said, good for the wool, keeps the moths away. So, within keeping the moths away, we're done with little tidbits on Bing. We're going to smoke these 3 delicious pipes here and get our bellies full. And maybe throw on some more Irish Bing and well, take a nap. Take a good nap because this dog's wearing me out. So, with a tip of the haberdashery and hasta luego, we'll catch you in the next one. And don't forget, shake those jars.